France is holding events to celebrate Bastille Day. President Emmanuel Macron will preside over the military parade with India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi as his guest of honor. But the Day of Unity comes as France is divided over the reaction to the police shooting of a teenage driver. The killing and protests that followed have exposed fault lines in society. DW's Sonia Phalnikar reports from Paris.
No justice, no peace. A march in Paris against police violence and racism suddenly gets out of control. Many here believe racism was behind the recent police shooting of a teenager of Algerian origin. For those in the suburbs, it creates an everyday fear. Rachel Keke, a former maid, is a far-left MP.
When I'm out at work, I'm scared of getting a call to tell me that my son has been shot. Imagine we have to live with this kind of fear in a country like France. It can't be. Given a situation like this, politicians have to act to find a solution because, let's be honest, there is racism in the police. It exists.
Another far-left lawmaker says the police need to earn people's trust and politicians need to take on broader social problems.
The government hasn't given any response to the social divisions running through the country. In many suburbs, people don't have the same rights, they don't have the same access to public services.
Frustrations have erupted before. People in France's marginalized and multi-ethnic inner suburbs have rioted in anger against the police. The latest violence has raised a fresh challenge for President Emmanuel Macron to fix the problem. He's beefed up security and vowed to address underlying social factors.
But Macron isn't only under pressure to tackle the violence. He's also under political pressure from the far right. Polls show that Marine Le Pen's national rally is benefiting from the crisis, with voters approving of her tough response and her long-held hardline policies on crime and immigration.
Romain Beaubry is a former police officer and now MP in Le Pen's party. He says the problem is not with the police.
The police are not racist. That's wrong. They work in a very difficult context, in cities and neighborhoods where the overwhelming majority are foreigners or of foreign origin, with codes from elsewhere. That's the real problem.
And he also points the finger at politicians for stirring up emotions.
What we've seen is not anger in the suburbs, but a pretext for delinquents, for all those who hate France, who commit crimes in our country, burn our institutions, because they've been encouraged by certain politicians on the far left who keep repeating that we've been bad colonizers.
His argument has no takers here. The unrest over police violence is just the latest crisis to rock France.
I'm sorry. I'm sad to see my country like this, really sad. It's not how I'd like France to be.
As France gets ready to celebrate Bastille Day or fete nationale, some feel the country has reached a tipping point.
And for more, let's move to Paris to speak with our correspondent, Sonia Phalnikar. Sonia, as we just saw, Bastille Day, the National Day of France, taking place in a particularly tense moment for the country. What is the atmosphere like?
Well, Bastille Day, or Fête Nationale, as it's called here in France, is a major event on the national calendar. And of course, the highlight is the traditional military parade that will take place shortly on the iconic Champs-Élysées. And that is, full of pomp and pageantry. There is a festive atmosphere here where I'm standing not far from the Champs-Élysées. But it's true that the recent riots have suddenly cast a shadow over this national holiday. Now, French authorities have banned the sale of fireworks, which is a big part of the national holiday usually. And that is because, those fireworks have also been used against the police in recent riots. There are a number of cities and municipalities in France that have also cancelled firework displays. For example, the western suburb, Paris suburb of Nanterre, where that 17-year-old teenager was killed by the police, and that sparked all this unrest. And so the mood here is certainly subdued and things remain tense.
What security measures are in place today? Are there any demonstrations planned?
Well, there are certainly no demonstrations planned today, and there is a massive security police presence here. There are about 45,000 police officers who were deployed across France last night and also today, and that's the same number as was deployed during the height of the unrest. And they will be backed up by, armored vehicles, by helicopters, by drones. There is also in Paris this evening an official display of fireworks where authorities are expecting about 70,000 people to show up, and that is why the security is also being beefed up, and authorities really kind of on high alert for any kind of trouble breaking out.
Sonia Phalnikar in Paris, thank you.